with her weapon and a little flip and, all in one motion, and I'm struggling with my tiny hands I used to call it the Darnell wig. Even though it was my own hair, it just looks like a bad wig.
A woman who became a warrior 2 weeks after giving birth, lost her hearing from a shotgun blast, and watched her marriage collapse in Hollywood's spotlight. Linda Hamilton didn't just play Sarah Connor. She sacrificed everything to become her.
I know this hurts. Call John.
At 72, after decades of silence, she's finally revealing the brutal truth behind Terminator 2. The punishing training, the permanent damage, and the love affair with James Cameron that burned bright then shattered completely.
There were some wonderful clothes that just meant a lot because they were underground clothes. Catherine goes and lives below for one episode.
Early doubts and the first Terminator. Before Linda Hamilton became the mother of all action heroes, she had very different dreams. Fresh out of Lee Strasberg's studio in New York, she wanted to perform Shakespeare on prestigious stages, not dodge cyborg assassins in sci-fi thrillers. When the Terminator script landed on her desk in 1984, she wasn't exactly thrilled. Arnold Schwarzenegger as the lead? She was skeptical, maybe even a little snobby about it.
T2, I don't think anything could ever compete with the level of physicality that was required.
She worried the whole thing would be a box office disaster that would kill her serious acting career before it even started. But something changed when she arrived on set and saw Arnold in action. The pieces clicked together in ways she never expected.
Arnold travels with a truck with equipment, and he was just completely generous in sharing all of his resources.
That vulnerable waitress role made her famous, but it also set the stage for something she could never have prepared for. I Want to Be Crazy. The return deal. 7 years later, James Cameron picked up the phone with a sequel idea. Linda Hamilton was pregnant at the time, and honestly, she wasn't jumping at the chance to return.
So really, Linda was the one variable. I didn't want to recast it, that'd have been nuts.
But Cameron needed to know if she was in or out before he could even write a script. So they met for dinner, and Hamilton laid down one non-negotiable condition. I want to be crazy. 4 words that would change everything. Her reasoning was brilliant. What Sarah Connor had been through, the trauma of knowing the future, of being hunted, of carrying the weight of humanity's survival, should have driven her completely insane. Cameron loved it. He put her in a mental hospital, gave her the edge she demanded. They worked together to create a woman who wasn't fully crazy, but teetering on that dangerous line. Someone who could almost murder an innocent man to prevent Judgment Day. The transformation begins 2 weeks after birth. Here's where it gets brutal. Linda Hamilton gave birth to her son Dalton in 1989. 2 weeks later, she started the most punishing training regimen of her life. Not 2 months, 2 weeks. James Cameron brought in Uzi Gal, an Israeli commando who trained her with military precision. 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, for 13 straight weeks before filming even started. Running, biking, swimming, climbing endless stairs, free weights, mini trampoline drills, walking lunges, abdominal work that left her shaking. Then came the combat training. She learned judo, military tactics, how to load clips and change mags, how to clear a room like special forces, how to verify kills. She shed 12 pounds of pure fat. She could bench press 85 pounds for reps and run 8 miles without stopping. When Arnold Schwarzenegger saw her on set, even he was stunned. I come from the physical fitness world, he said, but what I saw there was extraordinary. The mental and physical toll on set. The physical transformation was only half the battle. Halfway through shooting, Linda finally watched the original Terminator for the first time since making it. Her reaction? Pure disgust with her younger self. Look at her! She's weak and her voice squeals. She's mincemeat. The emotional scenes broke her in different ways. The Dyson assassination sequence dragged over 5 days, and by the end her performance had gone stale, the intensity drained out. The squib explosions made her so glassy-eyed and confused she couldn't remember 2 actions in a row. She described feeling genuinely shell-shocked, like a soldier in combat. Then there was Cameron's intensity. Once she asked for a tiny line change and he snapped. "What the fuck are you talking about? Don't mess with my words." She thought he was serious. He was teasing, but she didn't realize it until much later. The steel mill scenes meant getting soaked repeatedly in freezing temperatures.
Grab the chain.
Even her twin sister Leslie, who doubled for the T-1000 mirror scenes, got a taste of how punishing it all was. The elevator scene. Then came the moment that would haunt her forever. The Pescadero Hospital escape. Sarah and the T-800 trapped in an elevator with the T-1000 attacking. Simple scene on paper, catastrophic in reality. Between takes, Linda had removed her earplugs for a bathroom break. When they started rolling again, she forgot to put them back in. The elevator doors closed. Arnold raised the shotgun. Multiple blasts fired in that tiny enclosed metal box. The sound hit Linda like a physical blow. She collapsed to her knees in agony, certain she'd been shot, that a squib had misfired and shrapnel had torn into her. Nobody on set realized her pain wasn't acting. To this day, she has permanent hearing loss in one ear. The ringing never stops. But here's the thing about Linda Hamilton. She got back up. She finished the scene exactly as scripted. No complaints, no delays. Just another scar added to the collection. The off-screen relationship that imploded. While Sarah Connor was conquering the world on screen, Linda Hamilton's personal life was unraveling behind the cameras. She and James Cameron started their relationship right after Terminator 2 wrapped in 1991. Their daughter Josephine was born in 1993. But the relationship was volatile from the start. Hamilton described it as a constant cycle of pushing each other away, taking breaks, coming back together. Most of our relationship was us taking a big break, she admitted. They finally married in 1997, but by then the damage was done. During Titanic's production, Cameron had an affair with actress Susie Amos. Hamilton later said the real mistress wasn't Amos, though. It was the film itself. Titanic was the mistress he left me for. He was the kind of man who really would rather be at work with the mistress than at home with the wife. They divorced in 1999. The settlement cost Cameron $50 million, one of Hollywood's most expensive divorces. The real reasons behind the split. But the Titanic affair wasn't the whole story. Hamilton has been remarkably honest about the deeper issues. She struggled with bipolar disorder throughout their relationship, something she'd battled since her 20s, but didn't properly treat until later. Her mood swings, the physical and verbal abuse she admits inflicting on partners, the refusal to take medication. It all took a toll. Then there was the fundamental mismatch between them. "We were terribly mismatched," Hamilton told the New York Times in 2019. "I used to say we fit together like a puzzle. Everywhere he's convex, I'm concave." But perhaps the most revealing admission came from both of them. Cameron confessed he'd fallen in love with Sarah Connor more than Linda herself. And Hamilton agreed. "I think we were just in this high-velocity spiral around each other for a long time," Cameron said. The character had consumed them both, blurring the line between fantasy and reality until neither could tell the difference anymore. The aftermath and declining T3. After Terminator 2, Linda Hamilton became a cultural phenomenon. Linda Hamilton arms entered the fitness vocabulary. Women flooded gyms demanding their trainers make them look like Sarah Connor. Magazine covers showed her transformation from soft romantic actress to hardened warrior. But success came with a price. Hollywood typecast her immediately. Every script that landed on her desk wanted another version of the same tough, muscular character. She'd proven women could be action heroes, and now nobody could see her as anything else. When Terminator 3 came calling years later, she turned it down flat. The real reason wasn't money or story, it was the training. That brutal, body-destroying regimen that had become, in her own words, a way of life. "I'm an addict." She'd already died making T2. She wasn't willing to do it again. Even Beauty and the Beast, which she'd loved, felt suffocating after 48 episodes of the same formula. 28 years later, dark fate and modern reflection. Fast forward to 2018. Linda Hamilton is 63 years old, living quietly, enjoying her solitude. Then James Cameron calls about Terminator, Dark Fate. She ignored him 3 times before realizing he was calling about work, not personal drama. When she finally called back, it took serious convincing. Could she still do this? Should she? This time the training looked different, but was equally intense. Cameron hired Mackie Shilstone, the trainer behind Serena Williams and Peyton Manning. For over a year, Shilstone owned her, Hamilton's word. Pilates, weightlifting, no carbs for 12 straight months. 6-day shooting weeks with scuba lessons and military training squeezed into any free time. Her biggest fear wasn't the physical challenge, it was comparison. 28 years had passed. How could a 63-year-old woman match the warrior she'd been at 34? She worked herself to exhaustion trying. On days off, she'd sleep 20 hours straight, her body demanding rest her mind wouldn't allow. Legacy at 72. Now at 72, Linda Hamilton can look back and see what she built. She didn't just play an action hero, she rewrote the entire template for what female warriors could be on screen. Before Sarah Connor, women in action films were decoration or victims. After Sarah Connor, they were survivors, fighters, leaders. She proved that brains, muscle, trauma, and heart could coexist in one female character. The cost was steep: permanent hearing loss, bipolar battles that destroyed 2 marriages, years of being typecast, a body that still carries the damage from those brutal training sessions decades ago. But she has no regrets about the character. A woman who grows and transforms on screen is always a wonderful thing to play, she said. She gave everything to Sarah Connor: her hearing, her marriage, her body, years of her life. And in return, she became a feminist icon respected worldwide, proving that sometimes the greatest roles require the greatest sacrifices. If you love discovering the brutal truth behind Linda Hamilton's transformation, smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss another untold Hollywood story. Drop a comment right now with your favorite Sarah Connor moment, whether it's the mental hospital escape, the desert training montage, or that iconic shotgun reload. We read every single one. Want to know what other action stars sacrificed for their legendary roles? Click the video on screen next. We're diving into another icon who paid a price nobody saw coming. See you there.